Welcome to Mineral Talks Live, the monthly live mineral webinar that brings you in-depth and in-person interviews with mineral people from around the world. Mineral Talks Live is brought to you by a joint effort among the Mineralogical and Geological Museum at Harvard University, the SMMP, and Blue Cap Productions. Tune in on the first Wednesday of every month and stay connected to your mineral world. Now, broadcasting live from beautiful Honolulu, Hawaii, the land of aloha, ukuleles, and shakas, this is Mineral Talks Live. Hello everybody and welcome to December 2021. We hope all of you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and if you did it properly, you're probably still digesting. Today is Wednesday, December 1st, and this is the final show of 2021. For those of you tuning in for the first time, don't flip the channel because you just found Mineral Talks Live, the best hour-ish mineral talk show on the internet. Mineral Talks Live is the monthly show where we sit down with people from all facets of the mineral world to learn more about who they are and what they do. I'm Brian Swoboda, the president of Blue Cap Productions, and together with my jolly partners, Dr. Raquel Alonso Perez from the Mineralogical and Geological Museum at Harvard University, and Dr. Eloise Gaillou from the Society of Mineral Museum Professionals, also known as the SMMP, we want to welcome you to the 56th show of this series. Throughout our year and a half of producing this program, we've been incredibly honored to sit down and chat with some of the best curatrix, curators, collectors, dealers, miners, researchers, artists, and media people in the mineral world. I think it's obvious that we're having a great time, and we appreciate all of you who have been along for the ride. If you'd like to help us keep producing great episodes like today's program, go ahead and click that like button below and be sure to tell all your friends about the best mineral talk show in the world. Now, one thing about this show that's unique is that this isn't just a conversation between me and our guests. All of you get to be a part of the show by participating through the chat feature or the Q&A feature, both of which are located at the bottom of your Zoom window. The chat feature allows you to type messages to everyone watching the live show. As we're all about community, when you first sign on, go ahead and fire off a hello to everyone telling us where you're from. Also, if you have general thoughts or comments during the show, this is where you can post them and interact with each other while we're talking. Now, usually our guests and I aren't able to read those comments, but never fear, Raquel and Eloise will be very active in the chat areas and may even interject a question or two to us during the interview. Okay, so what if you have a really burning question you want to ask, but it's a bit off topic from what we're talking about at the moment? Well, in that case, go ahead and type it in the Q&A section, and we'll do our best to get to that at the end of the show. Finally, at about 40 minutes into the program, you'll see a window pop up on the screen asking a bunch of questions for our Quickfire 5 segment. This is where we get to see how well you know our guests. And yes, we play along too, as we're not even sure of all the answers to the questions we're going to ask. For today's show, we're headed off to the other side of the globe from where I am, and we're returning to that grand old dam of a city, Paris, France. Now, when one thinks of Paris, one usually thinks of things like the Eiffel Tower, Notre Dame, romance, or even baguettes. God, I love those baguettes. But if you're in the mineral world, you also think of the three fantastic mineral museums in the city. One, the Paris School of Mines, where our dear Eloise reigns. Two, the National Museum of Natural History, where our friends Cristiano and Giancarlo hold court, and they'll be on the show hopefully in 2022. And three, the Mineral Collection at the Sorbonne University. Today, we're going to do a deep dive into the Sorbonne Collection, and we're going to talk with the researcher and curator of that collection. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to our show someone you've no doubt seen many times at mineral shows around the world, Dr. Jean-Claude Boulliard. Jean-Claude, bonsoir.
Bonsoir, Brian.
Ça va?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. That's pretty much all. That's almost all the French I know, so I'm working on it though. Now, Jean-Claude, on this show, we like to get to the origin story behind each of our guests when they first became fascinated with the mineral world. So tell us about your first introduction into the world that became your passion.
Okay, I was very young, around 6 or 8. My grandmother has a house near a fluorine mine, a very famous fluorine mine in France, fluorite mine, excuse me. And so I often went to this mine and picked some small crystals and so. And I make a small collection. I have an example of my small collection. Do you see it?
Oh, let's see that. Yeah.
Yes.
In a Havana cigar box. It's a real first collection, my first collection, you know.
Oh, I love that you still have that. And are those all pieces from France, or are they from all over the world?
Because many of them were bought in a bookshop where at that time there was a small box in which there were specimens of samples of minerals.
Ah, cool.
So no, here it is not self-collected, except this fluoride. This fluoride came from this fluoride. Sorry.
I can't see it because of the light reflection. Can you twist the box a little bit? Oh, okay, there we go. Perfect. Wow, you're holding that with no hands. That was incredible. Now, what about other self-collected minerals? Do you have stuff that you've self-collected?
Yes, you know, so it is the first collection, and after, during several years, I didn't collect. And around 23, I was preparing my PhD, and a friend of mine told me there was a mineralogical show not far from the place I was, and I go to this mineral show, and so it was for me the real discovery of the mineral world. Wow. So and I start the second times to collect minerals, and I also go on the fields to rock hounded, and I have a second collection of self-collected minerals.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
They are not very aesthetic, but some of them are quite interesting.
What is your favorite piece from that self-collected box?
Wow, it is not here. You know, I stopped collect. I don't collect anymore.
Okay.
The best self-collected minerals was collected when I start to work in this collection, and it is vermiculite. I collected them in Zimbabwe, the mine of vermiculite in Zimbabwe. And the big crystal, maybe we'll see them later.
Okay.
I also attend to a mission where we collect big barite from France. So I'm proud for this collection.
I love it. I love it. So you don't collect anymore, but you do research. So in addition to being the curator at the Sarbonne, you also do research for the museum. Tell us a little bit about the research that you do.
Oh, now my research are about crystallography. My last article was on the special shape of the copper Michigan crystals. You know, they are very special shapes, and I demonstrated that this shape is due to a great amount of oxygen. So you know, I'm not really a mineralogist. I am a physicist and a crystallographer, especially I'm involved in crystallography and materials, so physics of materials.
That's fantastic. Now, where was that last paper published, the one on the copper forming because of the oxygen, or the shape of the copper forming?
European Journal of Mineralogy.
Okay, I want to get a copy of that. I've got a bunch of friends who are really into Michigan coppers.
You know, it gives an answer to a very old question.
Fantastic. So Jean-Claude, now eventually your path led you to the Sarbonne. Tell us about how you ended up there, and tell us a little bit about the Sarbonne itself.
So first I made a PhD in solid state physics. I was a collector, and the former curator of the museum met me, and he asked me as if in the next future I would be interested to be the next curator. So I accept, I moved from my first laboratory to the current laboratory, which is the Institute of Mineralogy and Physics of Material and Cosmochemie. So, and I learned about curating minerals during several years, and I started to be the curator in 1998. The Sorbonne Collection is a collection with complex history because it moved 6 times. I know this collection in 3 different places, you know, and I moved it twice. So it was an incredible work. So, you know, the Sorbonne, in fact, it was, at the beginning, it was a collection built in the Sorbonne University. But after, at 1970, the Sorbonne was divided in many other universities, and the laboratory was in the University Pierre and Marie Curie. And after the names changed, and now it is the Sorbonne Université. So it was first the Sorbonne, now it is Sorbonne University. And between these 2 names, there are 5 or 6 different names from this collection.
Fantastic. Now, Jean-Claude, you've been coming to Tucson for like over 40 years now? Is that correct?
No, 40 years.
Over 40 years. So you are a quite familiar face to people who come to the mineral shows. So I think what is maybe not so familiar with people is the collection itself that we're talking about. Now, I know you're only about, I think, 10 meters away from the collection. Can you take us in so that we can take a look at the collection and people can start understanding why the next time they're in Paris, they have to come and visit?
Perfect.
And shout out to Marina, our camera person for today.
Here you see the entrance as a collection. And it's very special because we have a temporary exhibition on Mexico. The subtitle of this exhibition is Mineral Stories. So you have pictures of landscapes. Okay. Here you have a mine wagon, but it's not from Mexico. This one is from a French gold mine. And you see the gold nuggets.
just sitting there. Oh my God. This is why you have to come. No, there are many other reasons.
Here we have a nice picture of the Naica cave. You know the
Naica in Mexico,
giant, the gypsum crystal. And here it is an introduction about the Mexican geology. And here you see the famous Mexican papeles.
Yeah. Oh, this is exciting. I'm so excited for our viewers. This is, I think for many of them, the first time they've seen this collection. There are very few photos of this online.
It is a room, the permanent exhibition room.
Incredible. And Jean-Claude, how many of the display cases like that are there in the exhibit room?
There are 24 display cases and on the wall cases. But these type of cases showcase 24.
So there are 24 cases, and for the viewers, these cases are designed so that you can look at it from both sides. They're all glass. Absolutely incredible. You can see the little hand bar in front of it. That's the oh my hand bar. When you get faint because you're looking at such incredible stuff, you're encouraged to hold on to that hand bar. And how is this organized? Tell us about that.
It's chemically, in each showcase there is a mineral family, a special mineral family. It begins with the natives, the halogenides, oxides, sulfides, and so on. And here you have the showcase of the halogenide. You may you can see a small flag, a Mexican flag. It is an indication of the Mexican minerals in our showcase. I put these flags for the temporary exhibition. And this halogenide showcase has very famous Mexican minerals. You may see them here.
Now, Marina, could you get a little closer to the mineral specimens or the front of the case so that we can see it?
It is a famous cumangiite.
Oh, yeah. Now, that's from the mine in Baja California, Santa Rosalia. I used to ride that mine cart up from the bottom of the mine to the surface when I was a kid, and boy, that pissed everybody off.
Il parle de la mine.
Okay. So the biggest is more than 3 centimeters. So make the I don't know how many inches it is.
In inches.
Jean-Claude, maybe we could go case by case and just take a quick look at each case. Maybe focus in on a couple of the killer specimens. You have a few killer specimens in every single case. It's incredible.
So we start with the native. Here's a Michigan copper with the special shape. I took one specimen from these pieces to make our result, to get the result I told you. Here a copper from the famous Ray mine in Arizona. We have also gold from several places and unusual place like gold from Gabon in Africa, or French gold from the French Guiana area. And you may observe that this gold are crystallized. We can see a trigon shape. No, tu peux pas. Okay. Comment? Oui, j'en ai parlé. Okay. So we have also classical minerals. It is our best Kongsberg silver. I'm waiting for a donor to get a bigger one, but it's not it's not easy. We have also famous sulfur.
Il a demandé de lui montrer les spécimens prochains.
Okay. So there's just a special mention for France is it's a country with many fluorite mines, and here we have a small display with the 3 important fluorine with a very nice color. It's a pink fluorite from Mont Blanc, an orange fluorine from a small mine in Valzergue, and a blue fluorine for the famous Beck's mine, which has given very nice blue fluorides.
Oh, that's a killer set.
Here it is oxide. So there's we have classical minerals from classical minerals. One nice chrysoberyl from Vila do Pancas, Brazil. Here a small sapphire. In fact, it is a very big sapphire. It comes from Madagascar. Mm-hmm. So no, it is the first showcase of oxide. There is another showcase here of oxide with a nice reticle from. It is not no, it's not Ibicharia and Novo Horizonte. So I was very proud to get one of these specimen because it was a small discovery, small in number of specimens, not small for the quality. Here there is a special wall case with donations. Here, all this part is a special donations from Daniel Curie Daniel Curie was a professor in our university, and it was the grandson of the brother of Pierre Curie.
Ah, okay.
And here's other specimen from donors. You're from Jacques Lago Trelawney, you know, the famous American collector who gave this specimen two or three decades before. Here's in this small part, it is a new acquisition. It's acquisition of the year. There is a nice plombobumite. You know the pyrolusite from Schwarzwald. It is a recent discovery. It was discovered 1 year or 2 years ago. There is a nice rovea, a nice cuspidine from China, also lelangite. And you may see also here diopside from Merillani. It's quite unusual to get so many crystals of diopside together.
Yeah, fantastic.
So, no, jump. So I will show you things. So here it is the sulfide with a nice molybdenite from Kingsgate, Australia. But what I want to show you, not here. Here it is classical stibnite. Here a nice marcasite from France, so from north of France. We are quite proud to get such a nice crystallization.
Now, Jean-Claude, who designed the display and the room in general?
Wow! This wall case was designed at 1970 by a famous architect. I don't remember the name. It's his name, but it's very. You know, this showcase are all showcase are exactly the same. They didn't change. They haven't changed from the 1970.
That's great, and it's still so modern and clean looking. That's fantastic.
Here it is one of our big specimen. You see, it is this tetrahedrite. It is one of the biggest tetrahedrite in the world. It is on a single crystal. It was found in a very small mine in south of France, and we were very happy to get it because it's quite. So you see the blue is due to azurite, and it's not the right color from tetrahedrite. And here, yes, so here, nothing's very special. For specialists, here you have a nice crystal of chalcostibite. It is a free in the geode. It's very quite nice. Here, yes, here we are with sulfate. And one specimen, which is one kind of sulfate, which is very known in France, is a biorite. Sorry, in balls like that. They are found in the Saint Laurent Minier mine, and many collectors, French collectors, have this type of biorite, of balls of biorite. Là, il n'y a rien. Il n'y a rien. No. There is a good selection of gypsum. So gypsum from Naika, of course, but also gypsum from Baker, you know, with this shape, the stalactite shape, interesting. And one French gypsum. And you know, gypsum is a mineral from Paris because we have many exploitation of gypsum in Paris. Many quarries. Now they are finished. Yes, here it is a gypsum from Saragosse. It's a very well-known Saragosse gypsum. Here. It is the chromate. So we have one good specimen of wulfenite from San Francisco.
Oh, I love those San Francisco wulfenites. I lived there for 2 years.
Another one from the Los Lamentos mine. Another wulfenite from the Los Lamentos.
That's a nice big plate of the San Francisco wulfenite. You usually don't see them that big.
Mm-hmm. And we'll show you another, now an American mineral. It is a calcite, this calcite from Elmwood. Elmwood, it's a very famous specimen which was often pictured. I like it very well. So we have not very big rhodochrosite from Colorado, but we have another rhodochrosite, 2 specimens from Schwanning.
Wow.
Very big one.
That's huge. That's fantastic.
It is my hand. You can see my hand.
Yeah, that's where you need to grab that oh my bar.
This cerussite with a snowflake shape is also famous. Comment? Non, non, le Rhodolite, c'est amusant. Bon, là, here another showcase with carbonate and a nice hydromanazite from Iran. You know, the former curator was Pierre Barian, and Pierre Barian worked several years in Iran. At the time, it was possible. So là, qu'est-ce que je montre? Here there is nothing interesting. Ouais.
Te suivre, tu vas trop vite pour elle, pour la caméra.
So we start here the showcase with arsenate, phosphate, and vanadate. There are 3 showcases this family of minerals. So here you recognize adamite from Mapimi, from the Orhuela mine.
Classic piece from a classic location.
Here there's a nice Brazilianite, the first type of Brazilianite.
That's a nice size Brazilianite there.
Qu'est-ce que je montre là-bas?
Passe ici,
Bon?
passe ici, maintenant.
Okay. Here's a showcase with the cyclosilicate, so tourmaline, beryl. So it's very difficult to get a good specimen in this family because the specimens are quite expensive, as you know. Here we have a nice morganite, a big crystal of morganite from the famous discovery of Corrego de Orucum.
Oh, that is huge and fantastic color on that beautiful piece.
Here a nice diopside. It's a quite recent discovery.
Okay, all right, those are the new ones.
Mm-hmm. Bon, là, c'est pas très joli. Oh, sorry.
And I think now we're only 1/3 of the way through the collection, right?
It's the island silicates here. So there is a nice semimorphite, a big one, from Mexico, of course. Santa Eulalia. C'est trop rapide.
Le côté d'un autre, c'est que tu passes quand tu vas de l'autre côté, tu continues de le même côté, parce qu'elle, elle se voit.
Ah, d'accord, ok. Ok, on fait celui-là? Ok.
And for our viewers, I know it feels like we might be going through this kind of quickly. We are a bit pressed for time because it's 7:30 p.m. over there and everybody has to get home. So we've got a hard close at the top of the hour. So if you want to look at them in more detail, go to Paris.
Okay. So here a nice blue place. So the times was fast. What should I? Yes, here's the garnets from asbestos, but also from Mali with different shape, different color. Here's a spessartine from Loliondo. Now we will go here with the lazurite. So now crystal of lazurite are quite common, but we were the first museum in the world to get the first discovered crystal of lazurite, and it was this one, the small one. But after, many of them were discovered, and afganite was analyzed. The first afganite was analyzed in our laboratory. So, but it was not it was a small specimen. So it is a recent discovery of chrysocolla with a curious shape. It is like here, it looks like a worm hitting the rock.
Now, what is the locality of that chrysocolla?
Sorry?
What's the locality of the chrysocolla?
From the Katanga, Congo.
Okay.
Yes.
And also the disco balls as well from apophyllite.
Here you see a big specimen of asbestos. We have got a lot of problem in our university with asbestos. This is one of the specimen I showed to the student, and I explained how this these minerals was dangerous. Here a very nice chatukite, and the green crystal are dioptase. Okay. Here we have a special place, a special room from radioactive minerals. So there's an explanation, and beware, and how much is dangerous. And in fact, the dose you receive in this room is 1 time to 5 times doses you receive when you are in the plane. So.
Okay. Now, it seems like our internet connection is a little bit spotty in here, so we may experience a little bit of jitterness and frozen video as we're looking at right now. Honestly, if you have not had a chance to do this, you have to visit this museum. One of the best ways I feel to visit it is to combine it with a trip to the Sainte-Marie show. So you can go to Sainte-Marie, and generally I fly into Paris, and then from Paris I drive down to Sainte-Marie just so that I can go back to Paris at the end of the show, spend a little time there, and then fly out of Paris. But absolutely wonderful to see. And while you're in Paris, you might as well see all 3 museums. Eloise would be more than happy to bring you in. It looks like they got disconnected, but they're signing back in right now. So, okay, let's go back to Jean-Claude. Was that the radiation that disconnected us?
No.
Now we have problem with Wi-Fi.
No, I know, I'm kidding.
It is quite far from here. So now we are again in the main room. Here's the specimen of barite from France. It is one of the specimens I from the main mine, very famous mine. And here we have a very nice dolomite, one of the best from Heogui, you know, in north of Spain. And here a specimen we are very proud of. It is a calcite from a forest near from Paris. It is a calcite from Fontainebleau. How do you spell Fontainebleau?
Fontainebleau.
Fontainebleau. Okay. And here you see a big specimen of pyromorphite from Les Farges. Les Farges this mine is one of the three main mines providing good pyromorphites. And here it is big.
Amazing specimen.
Heavy because it is biorite. Okay. Comment? Non, la pyrite. Here a pyrite from Elba. A big tourmaline. And here a French mineral. It is a quartz from the Lagardette mine. And you know, Lagardette mine was the first gold mine in France. A very small gold mine, maybe several tens kilograms of gold were found. But in this mine, there are many good quartz crystals were discovered.
And one thing I love about the Lagardette quartz clusters like that is you have a little tint, kind of a champagne color that just really sets those apart from anything else. Just beautiful, beautiful pieces.
And here, I believe it is the biggest Gwindel from Switzerland. C'est Gwindel, s'il te plaît. Quoi? Non, c'est sympa. Mais... And you know, I shown you a fluorite from Lebex. Here you see a big crystal of the blue fluorite from Lebex.
That's huge.
And here the color is pale, but it's also a big specimen.
Now, Jean-Claude, was that one of the ones that was on display at the TGMS show a few years back when Alain put in the blue fluorite display?
Ah, j'ai pas compris.
C'est celui qui a été montré quand un certain Alain a fait voir une...
No, it wasn't.
Okay. We'd love to see that in Tucson someday.
The specimen was here. It didn't move any time.
Okay.
Ah ouais, c'est sympa, l'aluminium. So, comment?
Le Wi-Fi est pas top là. Le Wi-Fi, c'est pas bon là, aussi.
Okay.
C'est mieux là.
It just keeps going on and on. Fantastic.
In order to get a better connection. So we can see very quickly the temporary exhibition. It starts with archaeology. So I'm not an archaeologist, I'm not a specialist. These items are from the Royal Belgium Museum.
And those are jade carvings that you're seeing there in the foreground.
Here you see books from with Mexican Aztec gold.
Jean-Claude, how often do you do special exhibits like this in the museum?
Comment?
Combien de fois tu fais des expos temporaires comme ça?
Temporary exhibition. Every year we try to make at least one small exhibition.
Great.
This exhibition didn't last a long time. Just it will last only 3 months.
Okay.
It's a big. It was a lot of work. Yeah.
Beautifully exhibited and lots of great information, it looks like.
And you know, it was made in connection with the University of Mexico. So the texts are in French and Mexican.
Yeah. So
here it is, the minerals from. minerals, silver minerals. Like here, mercury to extract the silver from the minerals. And you know, here coins with made with the silver from Mexico. And they come from a shipwreck which happened in south of France. The ship was the Jeanne Elizabeth. And here we are now in the stores with the minerals. And you know, mines were very important in the history of Mexico. For example, the beginning of the Independence War was located near the district of Guanajuato, the famous mine of Guanajuato. So we put several minerals here from this mine, a nice aguilarite, guanajuatite, acantite, and so on. During the 19th century, there was the Porphyria period in which there was a big increase in the mining industry, and especially in one mine which we like a lot. It is the Boleo mine, and here again you have a cumengiite, and here a selection of minerals from the Boleo. In this showcase, the following showcase displays some studies which are made in our laboratory on Mexican rocks and minerals. Here you have a big specimen from Allende. This meteorite Allende was studied by one of researcher in our laboratory. Also studied in our laboratory the Moctezuma mine with many tellurites and tellurites. And here it is a study on these special rocks which are found in the lake of some volcanoes in Mexico. And it is important to understand the beginning of life. And here's a showcase I like the more. It is a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece of the mineral world, and with specimen from Mexico. So a nice mimetite from San Pedro Corralitos, quite nice azurite.
Huge plate.
A smithsonite, a strange smithsonite because we don't know where it was found in Mexico. A calcite, classical calcite from Charcas. A very unusual pyrite from Mexico. It's not very well known that such big crystals were found in Mexico. You're well-known amethyst from Veracruz, a domburite, and so on. We don't have very big legrandite from Impimi, but this one is quite good. It's not very big, but it's not too bad.
Oh yeah, that jumps out. Nice. What an incredible in-depth exhibit of Mexico that you have there. That is absolutely fantastic, and I love the fact that you were able to work with another university to put that together. I mean, it shows a lot of planning and forethought. Wonderful, wonderful exhibit. Now, Jean-Claude, you were showing some of the, you had, I think, one or two cases back, you were talking about a bunch of the Mexican minerals that you did research on there at the Sorbonne University. Can you show us your lab where you do that research? And while we're going there, maybe Eloise can launch the poll.
Okay, so our laboratory.
Or, I'm sorry, Raquel.
Our laboratory is not here. It is on the. It's quite far from here.
Oh, okay.
But what I can show you, it is my workshop.
Yeah, let's take a look at your workshop.
Aloïs is asking.
Peter was asking about an aqua. I'm not sure what aquamarine he was referring to. It was an aquamarine from Golconda that he was referring to. You know which one it is? Aquamarine from Golconda mine. Does that ring a bell? Bought by Herman. Do you think that's?
Herman. Oh yes. Wait.
So run.
And then we will be moving towards the workshop.
It is that one. The story is very special because we got it in exchange with lazurite crystals. You know the lazurite crystal at that time, it's an old exchange. At that time they were very expensive.
Yes.
Lapis lazurite crystals. Now they're not so much expensive.
And it's basically the length of my forearm.
Yes,
this thing.
It's more than 30
The length
centimeters.
the length of my forearm, so it's pretty big.
Mm.
These are display cases of oversized specimens, so they're all over 30, 40 centimeters, basically.
Sure.
So, okay, Brian, or shall we launch the poll while we're walking to the
Raquel, can you launch the poll as we go over to Jean? There we go. And we're headed over to Jean-Claude's lab right now. Walking through the Sorbonne. What a treat that was, really.
Worst case, and it is one of the specimens I've collected from the main mine. It was a very incredible mine because inside there were caves with all the walls with crystals. It was fantastic, unbelievable. It is my workshop, so it is very clean. Several hours before it was a total mess. Now we clean it especially for you. So there is a small place for analyze to get a quick analysis of minerals with a polariscope, density balance, lenses, microscope. Here there is a spectrometer, a small spectrometer, refractometer, pyknometer, things like that to get a quick analysis. One use of this workshop is to make a basis for the minerals. So here you have two examples of the kind of basis I'm making. It is a very heavy barite from France, from Olua. And you know this specimen, you can't put it directly on the shelf because it will take a bad position. Okay. And when you move it, you scratch the shelf. Mm-hmm. So what I make here, it is a casting as the crystals, and you know, with a epoxy resin, I make this basis, and so you can put this specimen, you can move it, it doesn't scratch anything, and the position is good. For specimen, another smaller, there is another way to display them. Here you see it is, Brian, do you recognize this mineral?
It looks like a fluoride. I can't see it that well.
It's a joke because it's something very new. It is a pink class from Brazil.
It's a pink what?
Euclase.
Oh wow.
Euclase. You have seen a blue one, now you see a pink one. And you know, the basis is like a gem setting. It is made by myself.
That's great. It looks, I think the similar mounts, they call that clutch mount in America.
Yes.
Clutch mount.
Yes, clutch mount. It is like
I love those mounts. They're so classy, so clean. Very, very nice.
Thank you. So, and here we have the sandblasting. I got a big trimmer, a smaller trimmer. Here I'm drying a specimen, a luzonite, which is need to be stabilized. Ultrasonic bath. And here you see I'm cleaning this prehnite and epidote for Mali, because you know we have a small comment dire magasin, a place to sell minerals in order to get money to buy minerals for the exhibition. And here you see a selection of green garnet. They're also from Mali. So what should I show you?
There's just a shop. Come to the shop. And
The shop.
Follow Eloise's lead. Do what she says. And this is where we went in at the very beginning, and you were showing us around, but this is the museum shop that's just outside the doorway to the gallery there.
So it is our shop. It is managed by the association as a friends of the collection. And it allows us to buy specimens.
Okay, can you explain, because people are confused. It's not the specimens from the collections that you're selling, but it's some very specific specimens that you purchase into
Yes.
for selling.
Yes, of course. Especially I purchased them in Sainte-Marie-aux-Mines. It is a main place where I purchase minerals from this shop. And also sometimes people are coming here to offer us the opportunity to get minerals, especially people from Africa, from Mali, from Congo, things like that.
Fantastic. Wonderful.
But
No chores. They were not stealing from the collection. Don't worry.
No.
If you were, there would be a line of serious mineral collectors down the street.
And you know, it's minerals, especially for children.
Yeah.
Small specimens, not expensive, for beginners.
And Jean-Claude, last time I was there, you gifted me a couple little mineral specimens that you self-collected that I brought home and gave to my children. So I think I sent you a photograph of them holding up the specimens when they were saying thank you.
Yes. Let me.
Now, Jean-Claude, let's talk about the future of the collection. Yeah, exactly. But let's talk about the future of the collection. I know that you are you're planning for your retirement now, and I know your shoes will be very hard to fill. However, you are working with a fabulous person who will be taking over your mantle. Can you introduce us to Paola?
So you know, I'm getting older and older, and soon I will retire. And the collection is extremely lucky because we have found a next manager with many skills. It is Paola, not Paola.
Paola, Jura, with both hands in the air.
She's a research scientist, teacher in the university. She's very active in our university. It is a very famous research and teacher, and she's interested to take the management of this collection next year. Yes, in 3 months.
Yeah. Yeah, but Jean-Claude,
Wonderful. Paola, we look forward to getting to know you. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so we are coming down to our last bit of the show. I'm sorry, go ahead, Jean-Claude.
Right. Can I just say a thing before?
Yeah.
Can just Paola explain what she does here quickly?
Oh, if you want, yes. No.
So Paola, what do you do here at the university?
Oh, okay. So, well, I am a physicist as well as Jean-Claude, and I am teacher and researcher. And here in the collection, in particular, I'm I'm doing a kind of project that use the specimen of the collection for teaching, mediation, and also research, but the research was already very well performed with not with the specimen that you saw in the exposition, but with the specimen that we have in the results. So my project here is somehow putting more light toward these beautiful objects and exploit them as much as possible for teaching. So by constructing many different kind of idioms, documents, this is the project, and also for mediations as well, because this is a very beautiful place in which when people come, they are completely charmed, and is a very good place for telling people to enter inside the university. So it's something that we should exploit as much as possible. So these are my projects for the moment, for the collections.
And a good news, she will come in Tucson, if it is possible, because we don't know what COVID
I will try to come in Tucson, yes.
Oh, fantastic. Well, we look forward to seeing you in Tucson.
Paola is very shy, but you know, the thing is that she's trying to put this collection ahead, and she's doing a lot of things on social media, thanks to Marina that is behind the camera as well. Lots of things on social media, producing a lot of tools for teachers so they can come and visit the collection and they have a support for teaching. Also, she's putting the 3 Parisian collections together. She organized a day on Monday with the 3 collections were all together. And so the Natural History Museum, the Mines Paris Paris School of Mines, and the Jussieu collection. So she's doing plenty of great things for the 3 collections in Paris, not only the Sorbonne. Thanks for organizing this day, and we're looking forward to continue working with you.
Yes.
Thank you, Paola. And thank you, Jean-Claude. And we have a big party line in Tucson, that's for sure.
No, also because Jean-Claude promised to stay. He can't leave. I mean, he has to stay as a participant in the association.
In fact, I will get an emeritus.
Yes. So that's a must. He has to stay.
I'll still work, but no.
And we are ready for the 5 quick-fire 5 questions.
I love having Eloise on site. This is fantastic. So congratulations again, Paola, and congratulations to you, Jean-Claude. Jean-Claude, we are now going to ask you 5 questions, okay? They are very simple questions. Each question has 2 answers. You tell me which answer you prefer more, okay?
Yes,
Okay. First question. Vehicle. Do you prefer bicycle or an automobile?
Definitively bicycle. Because you didn't see my bicycle because I put it in a corridor. But in Paris, it's impossible to move without a bicycle now.
Well, Jean-Claude, you are a very brave man, because I have rented bicycles when I've been in Paris, and that is absolutely crazy. But you're a brave man that you can do that. So bicycle is your answer. Question number 2.
Better after the COVID.
Oh, okay. Oh, look at that. There's Marina. Question number 2. Which type of mineral do you prefer? A twin crystal or a single crystal on matrix?
It's a joke. You know, I've written a huge book on twin crystals.
Twin crystals.
And so I prefer the twin crystals.
Of course. All right.
It is a book. More than 300 pages only about twins.
About twins. I love it. Okay. Question number 3. This is maybe the most important question. Wine. Do you like red or white?
Wine.
Red, definitely.
Red.
I don't support the white wine. It gives me nightmares.
You and I are the same there. Okay. Question number 4. When it comes to a book, do you like writing a book or reading a book?
Oh, it's a metaphysical question. I believe that both have them. But I really like to write books.
To write a book. All right. And the final question, and this is perhaps the most difficult. What kind of person are you? Are you a rational person or are you a bit of a dreamer?
Yeah, the same. So during the day, I'm rational, and the night, I'm
Dreamer.
God.
dreamer.
So are you awake more during the day or in the evening?
What?
Peut-être le réveiller le jour ou le soir.
I'm more awake the day.
In the day. Okay. So we're going to say you are a rational person. Okay. Terrific. We have Jean-Claude's answers. Eloise, or who's doing the poll today? Is it Eloise or Raquel? Is it Raquel? Okay. So question number 1. Vehicle, bicycle or car? Jean-Claude picked bicycle. What did our audience say?
The audience also said bicycle.
Woo! Ding, ding, ding! Question number 2, type of mineral, twin crystal or single crystal on matrix? Jean-Claude scoffed at us and told us twin crystal, of course. What did the audience say?
Interesting. I think none of us really knew. Maybe Eloise for sure she knew, but almost 50-50. But twin crystal won by 4%.
Wow, wins by a slim margin. Okay. I'm sorry, my video keeps cutting out for some reason. Okay, question number 3, wine, red or white? Jean-Claude went red.
100% clear. Red.
Red, okay, so everyone went for the red wine. It makes you feel so fine. Keeps you rocking all of the time. Number 4, book, writing a book or reading a book? Jean-Claude said writing a book. What did our audience say?
Almost 50-50 again, but reading a book won.
Reading a book, okay. So that was the first wrong answer, but they're doing pretty well. Question number 5, type of person, rational or dreamer? Jean-Claude, after a little bit of prompting, ended up being a rational person. What did our audience say?
70% of the audience thought he was also rational.
Okay, so that's 4 out of 5. That's fantastic. That means any of you people get to Paris, you get a free tour of the Sorbonne Collection. So congratulations. Let's go to the Q&A. Do we have questions that Jean-Claude can answer?
Il y a des questions pour toi de la part des gens qui nous ont regardés.
Okay, so do you want me to read the questions then from my computer? It's not gonna be
Oh,
easy.
why not? I like
Might be easier.
I like this shot. It's you and Jean-Claude talking.
Do you have an exhibit about fluorescent minerals?
Yes, we do, but we remove it because of the temporary exhibition. It's not a small, it is a small box, you know, this size. This size with fluorescent minerals.
Okay, I think we have understood. We answered already the one about the aqua golconda crystal. David was asking if you could show us the collection of copper crystals, but the main copper crystal that Jean-Claude used was the one that he showed you at the beginning.
Yes,
the other ones were crushed during the analysis.
Yes, very small. Yes.
And very small as well.
There is another one there.
Yes, but not. It wasn't used for the study.
And Carlos, of course, was asking about opals. Do you have a large opal collection?
Yes, we have a fire opal from Mexico and comment s'appelle les belemnite from
Belemnite, from Australia, the
yes.
fossilized opal from Australia.
But we are not very rich.
What kind of fundings, what kind of money the university or the French government gives you?
We don't ask money for the university to get minerals. We get minerals with our association, which is called AMIS, and it means friends. And we have special sponsors and donors and so on.
So everything that you do, from running the museum, buying the lamps, buying the lights, everything is done through a donation, basically.
No, not the lights. No. The lights, the computer.
Yes.
It's a budget from the university.
But to buy minerals, it's only through the friends of the museum.
In France, it's extremely difficult to buy minerals because you have to justify why you buy them, and you have also to justify the price. So, it's impossible to do because
we have to make three. We have to make trois appels d'offres.
Yes.
Yes.
And you have to.
Yes, a lot of paperwork, and you have to justify from 3 different sellers that you are getting best deal for this very specific mineral. So basically, it's impossible.
It's impossible.
Yes. And I think we have most of the questions here. Where is Jean-Claude's book on twins available? Where can people buy your book on twins?
You have to ask to me because
you have to come here.
You have to come here.
You have to come to the collection.
Or otherwise, you may get them in the CNRS editions.
Okay, CNRS edition. Also, Peter Ligberg is telling you that you're welcome to see twins in Luxembourg when you retire.
No problem.
So that was not the question, but I guess that's it.
Hello, we have a couple of more questions in the chat.
Go for it, Raquel, because I cannot really see them.
So we have a question from Alan Hart. What piece will you take for your retirement?
No one.
Quelle pièce est-ce qu'il prendrait pour sa retraite?
Quelle est la pièce
Quel est le
que tu prendrais?
spécimen que tu prendras avec toi?
No one. You know, minerals is a work. So when I retired, I need to forget minerals.
No, it's not really retiring. He's staying here as emeritus professor.
Yes.
And he's going to help Paola and another person to take care of the collection as well. So he's not retiring, not properly retiring.
So he doesn't need to take any specimen because he will stay here anyhow.
Okay.
And we have another question by Robert Cabril. Is there a book of the collection's minerals?
Non.
Est-ce qu'il y a un livre de la collection?
Un livre spécifique de la collection? Non.
Not really that. There is a coffee table book with the life size of the minerals. And it is written in French and English, but it's a coffee table book. There is at the beginning the story of the history of the.
C'est quoi l'édition?
It was published in the Le Pommier edition. In fact, it is Pommier, c'est Belin aussi. It's a nice book. And there is a foreword written by Steve Smale. You know, the French, the American collector, the famous mathematician.
Jean-Claude, I also, maybe I missed it during the talk. What's the size of the whole collection, what you have on display and what you have for research?
La taille. La taille de superficie.
Not so much. This on exhibition we have around 400 square meters, and the total surface of this the collection is around 650 square meters. It's not very big.
And the amount of specimens, how many specimens in total?
So on display, 1,500.
Wow.
On storage, which are filed, we have around 11,000. And we have another collection of very poor quality minerals, around 10,000. But minerals devoted for study, for teaching, but not they're not on files.
And do you also collect gems and meteorites, so it's only focused on minerals?
So we don't collect gems definitively because it's a point of interest of Eloise. And we have an old collection of meteorites with very classical meteorites like Encisime, Krasnoyarsk, Allende, small specimen, but we have an interesting collection of meteorites. So I will put them on display in the next future.
I also would like to say to the audience that Jean-Claude played a major role in the MIM Museum. So Jean-Claude was almost the curator of that museum before it got, I mean, Eloise maybe even can say more, but if you visit the MIM Museum, you can tell Jean-Claude's mind was behind it.
And you know, it's more than that. Salim got the inspiration from this collection back in the Lebanon, from this very specific exhibit that you saw already, with the display cases in a systematic way. So yeah, I think
22 years ago, he visited the collection, got a shock, so we get in connection and we discuss. And now there is a nice museum in Beirut, the MIM minerals. And Salim is a great supporter of the collection because he gives money. He's a donor, yes. He gives money and sometimes minerals. And it's a great friend.
And we have a question for Paola, actually. Are you going to create a virtual collection online?
So I'm working on this 3D reproduction of the minerals. Also, I'm working on the support, applications and things like that. And I really would like to achieve a number of specimens in order to try to have an equivalent of the collection in 3D objects. For the moment, we are also working to a virtual trip of the collection. So all these projects are ongoing. I will do my best for
It makes a lot of things to do.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And going back to the MIM Museum, Salim was our guest on the 13th episode of Mineral Talks Live. So if you want to go back and check that out, I'm sure that we talked about Salim being inspired by what he saw there at Sorbonne University. So how are we with questions? Is that it with the questions for today?
I think we are good, and they I'm sure are ready for a glass of white wine.
A glass of white wine. Oh, gosh, no. Sacrilege. All right, then let's end the show. Let me just say, as you can tell from the number of curators and curatrix guests that we have on the show, all of us here at Mineral Talks Live, we're very passionate about mineral museums and the role they play in our world. They are the bastions of minerals, mineral knowledge, and mineral history for our industry. And perhaps the greatest characteristic that all of these mineral museums share is that they exist to give back to all of us in the mineral world. So it only makes sense that we as a community also return the favor to them. So throughout the run of the show, we've received numerous emails from people asking how they can help out museums and which of those museums would most benefit from their support. Based on this, Raquel, Eloise, and I felt that we would further help our mineral community by directly connecting viewers with mineral museums around the world. So, if you are a mineral collector and perhaps have a specimen you'd like to donate, information you'd like to share, or even grant access to a mineral locality for the museum community, drop us a line at info@mineraltalkslive.com and we can discuss these options and others with you and help you find the best fit for your donation. Both Raquel and Eloise are longtime members of the Society of Mineral Museum Professionals, one of our program sponsors, and can quickly spread the word among worldwide mineral community, museum community, of your desire to help out the advancement and preservation of mineral knowledge. So, that email once again is info@mineraltalkslive.com. And that's our show, not only for today, but for 2021. We'll be back with a brand new show on Wednesday, January 5th, which is exactly 5 weeks from today. Thank you for joining us today. We wish all of you a very Merry Christmas, a joyful holiday season, and a Happy New Year. Be well, live with aloha in your heart, and we'll see you next year. Mahalo. Jean-Claude, Paola, thank you so much for today's episode. Fantastic episode.
Thank you to you.
Thank you. Can you spotlight the three of them? Because there's Marina on the back. Great.
Hey, bravo. Or it's not bravo. Marina's not Italian. I just learned that today. I thought she was. But Marina, fantastic job. Thank all of you for such a wonderful, wonderful job today. Really appreciate your time and the work that you put into this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you all. That was great. Thanks a lot for joining. Thank you all for interacting with us as well. Thanks for all the great questions. That was great.